Hello everyone and welcome back to Mind Your Venture. I want to start off with showing you my most recent purchase. As you can see here, I got another one of these 1/20th ounce pieces of gold. So been picking it up a little bit as I can. It's fairly expensive, but I'm getting a pretty good deal on this at the moment. At the coin shop I go to, he has a few of these. And don't know if you can see this here, but it is a 1 gram bar. All right, it's not gonna focus in here on that. Let's see if I can get it in here. There you go. So 1 gram. And nothing special on the back of this. It's just a piece that was broken off a larger portion. And that's pretty much the small pieces that you can get. And if you're aware, that's over 31 of these to make 1 ounce of gold. And then I went ahead and picked up 3 of these. So you can see there that this is a 1/4 ounce round, 1/4 troy ounce. Really nice looking rounds. And I picked up 3 of those, and I picked up 1 of these, which is another 1/4 ounce. So really nice looking rounds. And I picked up 4 of these here. So these are the silver dimes. So picked up 4 of this one here. And then I picked up 6 of these ones here. The mercury dimes. These being my favorite looking dimes, as a lot of people it is their favorite. It's just a really cool looking coin. You know, look at the back there, really cool, and really like the front of it as well. So really nice dimes. So I also picked up 2 of these here. So these are this one here is 1953, but I picked up 2 of these quarters, and I picked up 2 of these 1908 quarters. So these ones are really cool, but as you can see, worn down quite a bit and a lot lighter because of the wear than your regular old, these ones here, 1964. So now when I made this purchase, I tried to get in on Friday to make my purchase. I had the money, but was not able to get in to the coin store, so I ended up going in on Monday. Now, what happened between Friday and Monday? Friday, the price of silver was $32.99 and gold was $32.89, as you can see here. Now, when I went in on Monday to make my purchase, silver had gone all the way up to $34.98, so nearly $35 an ounce. And typically, I don't like buying when silver or gold is on a high. When it's doing a spike, I try to stay away from it. But I had made it all the way over to the coin store, already had the money out for it, so I went ahead and made my purchase anyway. And I want to show you what that looks like here. So paying a higher cost for this, you can see here on the 90% silver, I paid $1.60 below, or 1.6% below spot price. So about 56 cents below spot, below melt value. I paid for the dimes. And so with that, you can see that for the 90%, I paid basically 56 cents shy of premium cost. I basically didn't pay even spot price for these, but with the reduced weight on some of those, it would probably come out to, still just under spot pricing for the 90% silver. You can see here that for the 1/4 ounce rounds that I bought, I did pay a little bit more of a premium on those. It was about $3 over spot for those, which is about 8% on the premium. So you can see overall, I was at 90 cents over spot price for the silver that I purchased here at 2.58%. So pretty good purchase there. Even though the price was high, like I always say, I try to stay within that $2 over spot price. And I did pick up some small fractionals, which I don't have a lot of the 1/4 ounce rounds. And I typically stay away from it, but I just wanted everyone to see that you can get stuff like this at your coin store. You might pay a little bit more of a premium for it, but these were only $9 a piece, $9.50 I think. So picking up stuff like this, if all you have is $10 on you, you can pick up something like this and put it in your stack. It's really good. It's silver. 3.9's fine, so really good to have that. Or you can pick up some quarters or some dimes, depending on how much money you have. So now I did pick up the gold, and as you can see here, the gold price was $34.94. And the price for paid over was $35.42 if I was to buy a full ounce, but I did not. You can see here I purchased 1/20th and I purchased 1 gram here, and these are the prices I paid. So that would pretty much turn into about $147 over spot, which is about 4.34%. Now 4% is not that bad, considering it's fractional gold, and a lot of places try to charge you a lot for that. Now, what would have happened if I would have made the purchase on the Friday before that? The price of gold was $32.89. I would have ended up paying a lot less, but you can see because of what I paid, it was 7.69% and 8.77 on the silver because I didn't wait. So you can see why people say that you need to purchase when it's on the dips and not on the spikes. So when silver price spiked over the weekend and I went in, with the amount of money that I spent, I was only able to get this amount of silver and this amount of gold at those percentages. Now, let's take a look and see what that actually does here. And so you can see if I was to go in and pay the same amount of money for these coins, it was $87.80 when I made the purchase was the total cost of it. That would only cost me $82. And basically on the purchase, I ended up paying overall about $14 more. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but when you're talking about silver price being just over $30, which is what it was the Friday before, it was $33, I could have bought basically another ½ ounce of silver. And as you can see here, I only made the purchase of about 2.5 ounces of silver is what I ended up with here. Wasn't able to get to 3 ounces because I paid the extra price for the premiums going up and the melt price going up on that day. Now, as I'm doing this video right now, it is June 7th, and today the price of silver has gone up. So it actually went up over on Friday. The price of silver went up to $36.20. Now that is pretty amazing. Really good price for silver. And you can see if I was to have, with what I paid, I have now made money because you can see that it's 0.32 cents over and negative 0.87. So I made almost 1% off my purchase for that. Now you can see on the other hand, gold actually went down in price from when I made the purchase. So I purchased at $3,394.91. And now, as of today, it is $33.23.54. I ended up $218 over spot at 6.58. So lost a couple of percent on the gold purchase that I made. So now this is just showing you guys and trying to explain to you why a lot of the stackers out there and a lot of people out there try to tell you to buy on the spikes. I mean, not to buy on the spikes, but to buy when you have a dip, and then kind of watch the market and see what's going on. And I do that quite often, but because I was there, I wanted to put together this information. I wanted to do it live. And like I have said in the past, if you purchase it every week, no matter what the price is at the time that you buy it, overall, you're still going to come out good if you buy a certain dollar amount of silver or a certain dollar amount of gold every single time you go in and you do that. You don't buy a certain amount of grams or ounces. You stick to the amount of money you're going to be spending every week. So if you go in and the price of silver is 30, then you get 1 ounce if the price of silver was $30. Now, if the price drops down to 15 and you still go in with that same 30, now you're paying for 2 ounces, but you're still spending the same amount of money. And over time, when prices go up and down, you come out way further ahead buying a certain amount of value versus buying actual ounces of these precious metals. So I could go back in and show you guys. I have other videos out there. Maybe I can put a link up here for one of them to show you guys that the prices of silver and gold, they have always done well. It's not a great way to invest your money if you're looking to get big returns. You do not get compound interest off it like you would in a savings account if you can find one that's decent. If you have one that pays 4% over 20 years, the same as silver, when you get that compound interest that rolls over every single time you get that, it will outpace silver. Silver does well. You get about a 25% growth over time. Adjusted for inflation, though, you're basically losing about 10% of your money on that, just because the dollar goes down in value and inflation is just a crazy thing that happens to your money, and silver does not outpace it. They say it's a good hedge, and it is. It's better than most savings accounts, but like I said, you will end up losing money on that, and that's why people suggest that you put your money in other investments that will actually outpace inflation. That's what it's really all about, learning how it works and making money off it. Now, at $36, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to go sell any of my silver and try to trade it out for gold because the ratio still isn't there enough. Now, if silver goes to $100 per ounce, I may consider dumping some of it and possibly putting it into property or real estate. So we would see what would happen if it ever gets to that point. It would be great. I would absolutely love it. And I think a lot of people out there would really love if silver ever got up to that point. Now, it's very important that it is at $36 because it is not a very common thing that happens with silver for it to be at such a high price. This $36 speaks a lot about how things are going right now with the economy, how the silver has been suppressed for a long time. And a lot of people can't explain why it is actually at 36, considering gold actually went down. And the ratio right now is just over 90. So if you were to look at that, that's a lot better than it's been because it's been over 100 to 1 recently. So this price for silver, really good. I'm enjoying the price of it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop purchasing silver just because the price is $36. You might say, well, what if it goes back down to 15? Like I always say, I'm going to continue to buy it, and you'll see that I'm going to continue to go in with my $40 or $50 and I'm going to buy my silver. And right now I'm only able to get one and then maybe some fractional stuff with it. Now this purchase here was a larger purchase for me. I had a little bit of extra money from something that I got a return on one of my other investments that I have. And I took a little bit of the extra money off that because not only do I take 10% of my savings, my overall savings, and purchase precious metals, whenever I get money, I do the same thing. So I'll take 10% of that as well and put it into savings. So I did get some money back. So I went ahead and took some of those returns that I got and I went in and made the purchase of the gold and the silver that I made the purchase of here. So it was a rather large purchase for me, more so than normal, but I did it because that's what I do with my investing. So I don't necessarily consider gold and silver an investment. It can be, you can call it what you want. You make money on it, but it does not outpace inflation. My personal view of investing needs to outpace inflation or it's really not making me any money. So the fiat dollar, it's going to go away. It goes down all the time. And if it ever does go away, I want to have something that I can count on. Property is something that you can have that hopefully will always be there. That is up in the air too. But there's one thing that will always be there, and that is these two things right here, gold and silver. Gold and silver have been around since the beginning of mankind, and it's always had a value, and it always will have a value. It's what everything is based off. Countries around the world are trying to get back to the gold standard. It's what it is. Gold and silver are stable. Gold and silver are a great thing to have in your portfolio, great things to stack. And I encourage you all out there, every single week, every single paycheck, try to get some of your money and invest it in precious metals. Whether you do it any other way, I personally like having it in my hand. I like having it with me. I don't want to have it stored in somebody else's possession. I don't want to buy it online and let them keep it for me because I'm not going to trust anybody else with my future. I'm not going to trust anybody else with my money. That is completely up to me, and it's up to me to make the choices to make sure that my money and my investments work for me. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share with others so that we can help the community and help people learn and grow and understand what it is to invest and to take care of the money that you've been blessed with. So as always, keep on stacking, onward and upward.
There once was a man that stacked silver, so he called himself an investor. But the silver he had was not enough, so he stacked it more and more. Soon then the increase comes, shiny, glittery, and in large sums. Now when the stacking's done, he loved it more and more.